my life has felt incredibly out of control recently, and the reason for that is because I've moved into a van with my puppy. There's been a heat wave, so being in the van was really difficult. I had van issues, van MOT, blah 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 blah. So I've kind of been in the van in my old house, sometimes at friends' houses, sometimes back at my parents', sometimes here, there, and everywhere. So my belongings are everywhere, and I'm very overwhelmed a lot of the time with it, like, okay, where is this, so this is what I've done, and some of these are ADHD hacks because I also have been diagnosed with ADHD, to help me stay as consistent as I can despite absolute chaos. So a lot of my clients that work with me one-to-one as an online coach, they at some point will have a big life change, whether that's work changes or often like moving house, for example, is a really common one, that then people just like feel like they can't control anything and everything goes out the window. I'm kind of in a similar boat where I feel like I'm moving house because everything in my old house is in boxes. Everything here is kind of here, but then I've got some stuff there and I've got some stuff in other places, and nothing really is where it should be. And I don't really know where I'm going every single day. Like there's a lot. It's all up in the air, and every day is different, and it can feel quite overwhelming at the minute because I'm just not settled in like one life yet. I'm kind of in a weird limbo phase. So number one, I have my supplements. That didn't go well. Number one, I have my supplements right here, and that has made it so much easier. I can see them immediately. I've got my supplements there, and I usually have my supplements there, but I've just run out. So every single day when I come into the van, they are just there, and I just know to grab them, and it's a visual reminder that can really help. And again, obviously, if you're all over the place, it's not always easy to do, but have a visual reminder somewhere, whether it's like a reminder on the front of your phone, or a reminder on a post-it somewhere, or an alarm that goes off at 8 a.m. each morning and 8 p.m. each night. For me, if I don't see them, I don't think about them, so I just have to have my supplements out, even though it's not very sexy. It means that I'm more consistent. Not perfect, but more consistent. I've also done things like try and make things more fun. So for example, I usually have creatine in my coffee, but sometimes my creatine's in here and I'm like at the house or I'm not out here. And so what I do is have like a powdered creatine from Perform. This is actually the pre-workout, but it looks the same, which is why I'm holding it up, because it's actually in the house now, so I've kind of ruined that, but only because I took it in with me. But it's a bit of dopamine, it's a bit of fun. It's like a sherbet creatine, so you just put it in your mouth. I found that easier right now than having the like more traditional creatine, which is what I would usually use. That is harder for me because I don't always have that with me, whereas that I usually just keep in here, but I have now got it in the house. But either way, I've taken it pretty much every single day because it's fun, it's a bit of flavour, and I just find that easier to take. Sometimes it is about working out, like, I don't love gummies, but if gummies are going to be the way to get you consistent at taking creatine during a busy transitional phase, do it. I don't love that forever. It's full of artificial sweeteners. Like, I don't want to be taking that forever. But short term, while life is chaos, that is going to be easier for me. I'm going to be more consistent. And that in itself is better than not doing the thing. Food scales. Again, I would have every excuse under the sun if I didn't have these with me. So I always have food scales, supplements visible, and these things remind me of my goals and what I'm doing and why. The next thing is always having a backup plan. So up here, I have got fuel pots as like a backup. So this is like a backup meal if I've like completely forgotten to my food shop, or the other day my chicken was out of date because again, I'm between different fridges, so I don't always know like what I have where or when. Sometimes I open the fridge and go, shit, I didn't have what I thought I had. So having backup options, I've got loads of protein shakes up here, just like ways to keep me on track with my goals that are minimal effort. Again, it's a lot of convenient stuff, which I wouldn't usually recommend. Like in a dream world, we're minimizing artificial sweeteners and processed foods, obviously. But actually, again, I think the police or the nutrition police that come and tell us that we can't ever have something that's like easier access, like a protein shake, they obviously have never lived a difficult day in their life, because actually it's going to be easier on the days where I'm driving loads or I don't have the fridge working or something's come up. For me to still, like, there's almost no effort for me to grab some water from here, have a shake and get 20 grams of protein. If I had to go to the shop and I can't leave my dog or whatever, like there's too many barriers to me having the protein, then I'm not going to do it. So that's really important. Same thing. I know that I am good at making excuses later on in the day. So I always try and do my exercise in the morning. Doesn't always work, and sometimes I have to then like work on the discipline to build myself up to do it later in the day, but I try to front load my day. There's a really good book called Eat the Frog, which is all about doing the hardest things of the day first, and I use that with business. Like the bits I don't want to do, like my accounts, all the bits I find really boring, I definitely put off naturally. So I try and get things done ASAP. So I will always do the hardest task of business first. For example, talking to my clients, I actually push back a bit later. I used to wake up and like reply to my clients immediately. And one, most of my clients aren't awake at 6 a.m, so they don't need a reply. But two, I then would get so distracted with them and what they need that I then wouldn't do any of the things I need to do on the business. Again, like my accounts, the boring bits that I don't enjoy doing. So I'd put it off and I procrastinate. Whereas if I get the stuff done that I don't like first of all, it does really help. Same with fitness. Like, there are days I want to train, there are days I want to run, there are days I don't. So if I get it done first thing, it's done, I can shower, I can get on with the day. I think another thing is I often, like, if I'm in my gym stuff all day, I don't feel my best. I feel better when I'm dressed properly and I've got some, like, I brush my hair a little bit or whatever. And actually that makes me feel better for the rest of the day. So little things of self-care, like, even though I'm all over the place, I feel more in control when I've had a shower and I've washed my hair and I've got a bit of makeup on, like now. Whereas if I came to you and I just come from the gym and I'm sweaty, or I've just sat around in my gym stuff all day, I don't feel my best self. So that's a really small one. The other thing is having like a bare minimum with yourself. So for me, bare minimum at the minute is like 2 workouts and 1 or 2 runs a week. That's bare minimum. My goal is 4 workouts, 4 strength sessions, and 1 or 2 runs. That's like the goal, but it doesn't happen every single week. Have the bare minimum, know what is like the mandatory amount you need to get in to start with. Anything above that is progress. And I do think also, like, be kind to yourself, but also be firm to yourself. And what I mean by this is be kind because things won't always go to plan, and that's okay. Like, if you're all over the place, you're changing jobs, house, your life's just a bit up in the air like mine is right now, there will be days where you don't hit the goals. There will be days where things don't go to plan. What I mean by being harder on yourself is you cannot allow that to slide into the next choice or the next moment or the next day. Because if I did, I wouldn't have trained or eaten well for the last like 6 weeks of chaos that it's been. Whereas, yeah, I've had days where I haven't hit the targets I wanted. I haven't achieved things I wanted to achieve, but I always bounce back immediately, or the next choice or the next day. And that to me is really important. And it is such a good thing that you will build and learn over time. There's so much more I could talk about, but I know people's attention spans these days are just not the best. So hopefully you found this educational, took away a few little points of things. Okay, what can I do to reduce the barriers of friction to the things I need to be doing and make it easier for me to keep those little habits going? And again, I haven't taken my supplements every single day, but I've been 100% more consistent, or 99% more consistent rather, because it's been visible, because it's been easy, because I've chosen stuff that I know is easier for me to take. I've streamlined things. I've got things visible that I need to be doing. I've made it easier for me to like do the basic things. It's not about being perfect, it is about building consistency. And I'm a firm believer that no matter how chaotic life is, there is always something that you can focus on for you. There's always something you should be focusing on for you, because our bodies are important, our health is important, our happiness is important. And I truly do believe it's one of the best things you can invest your time and energy into. So even if life feels completely unmanageable or overwhelming or too much, which I can relate to, you are still important and you deserve to feel good in your skin and good in your health and all of the things. So you need to show up and act like that as well.